सो बिटकॉइन का यूज कहाँ होता है, ड्रग्स के लिए बहुत सारे पुलिस. सो वी वर वर्किंग विद लॉ एनफोर्समेंट अ लॉट. यू कैन एक्चुअली ऑर्डर फॉर ड्रग्स, चरस, गांजा, एनीथिंग. You can do online supari. You can actually look at illegitimate and illegal porn sites. Everything was accessible and they were taking payment via Bitcoin. So basically that was a way of making payments and transactions. Money can be earned again. Time, once it goes, it goes. Like कितना भी पैसा हो, time वापस नहीं आएगा. Try to spend more on, like you should be okay spending it for business, but try to use that much time to do your personal growth or for your company growth, because what happens is a startup ना funds बहुत कम होते हैं and we always try to think कि funds में let's be conservative, पैसा कम करते सब हम खुद करेंगे. Hello and welcome to StartupPod, a collaborative podcast by Ideas to Impact Hub and BingePods. Here we talk to successful startup founders so that your ideas can talk about itself. Today we have Sheenam Arora, the co-founder of HYFI Blockchain. HiFi Blockchain is a platform that lets you have fractional ownership of real-world assets, but through blockchain. This is a very confusing topic, so let's hear from the lady itself about where the platform began and how the vision was taken into place. Hello, Sheenam.
Hi, Siley.
Welcome, Sheenam, to our podcast. Thank you so much for coming up here.
Pleasure is all mine.
So coming to this very complex topic of blockchain, I want to ask you, where did that come from, where the vision started?
See, vision started because of, I've been in cyber. I've been working, like initial part of my life after college was working in cyber. That used to give me a kick. Investigation, password breaking and hacking was something that I was living up with. What happened was at that time we started hearing a lot about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin का use कहाँ होता है, ड्रग्स के लिए बहुत सारे पुलिस. So we were working with law enforcement a lot. तो उस टाइम पे बहुत बड़ा रेजिंग टॉपिक हो रहा था कि बिटकॉइन का बहुत यूज हो रहा है. सो उस टाइम पे बिटकॉइन का नॉलेज वाज वेरी लिमिटेड कि है क्या एग्जैक्टली. द ओनली थिंग वी न्यू वाज कि ड्रग्स खरीदने के लिए यूज होता है. सो एट दैट टाइम आई स्टार्टेड, वो कीड़ा होता है ना टेक वाला, दैट आई स्टार्टेड डूइंग समथिंग. तो सर्च करना शुरू किया. देन वी रियलाइज कि जो इंटरनेट दैट यू एक्सेस थ्रू गूगल or any web browser is just 30%. Like 70% of the internet is hidden. So you have different extensions, guns, different domains to access that limited access to that internet. So what happened was we started doing dark web. Us pe search kiya, you can actually order for drugs, anything. You can do online supari. You can actually look at illegitimate and illegal porn sites. Everything was accessible and they were taking payment via Bitcoin. So basically that was a way of making payments and transactions. A Bitcoin is an anonymous thing. Problem क्या है कि if I'm transferring you money, I have an address to transfer you and I'll transfer you the amount. It's called pseudo anonymous. उसमें क्या होता है, I know इस बैंक अकाउंट इस एड्रेस ने इस एड्रेस को इतने BTC ट्रांसफर किए हैं, but I don't know who's behind those addresses. So that is why it's called pseudo anonymous. So that was being used. And we realized that Bitcoin is it's a good medium. What is the technology behind it? Because being a tech, that is the only kida that you get. So I started researching about it and that's when I came across, okay, blockchain karke hai, that is how the network is set up. Then you come across as public blockchain, private blockchain, बहुत सारा, it was like, एक बार आप घुसे तो it was different universe of blockchain. So उस time पे अलग-अलग type की blockchains, नए-नए projects आ रहे थे, नई-नई blockchains आ रही थी, we started experimenting. So being a techie, वो ऐसा होता था पूरा हफ्ता I'm working on one blockchain just to understand it. उस time पे YouTube also wasn't very popular with blockchain videos. अभी तो you can learn everything about blockchain just via YouTube. But that is how the kick started and now cyber is sidelined and I'm focusing completely on blockchain currently.
And how did that turn out? I mean, what was the point where you got connected with the police itself? I'm more interested in that.
So when I joined the company portfolio was always into investigation. They still run a lot of courses with law enforcement. And us time pe, we would go and train police officers. That also was a very fascinating moment because you just passed out from college and you are actually training a police officer. And since I'm a computer science engineer, so computer and code was always something that I would love. Like that's why sometimes geeky is too much in me. So that thing was very fascinating. और उस time पे क्या होता था, police will come and talk to us about अच्छा ऐसा case हुआ, what can we do? So we would get limited access, obviously because it was like private information, but we will use our technology part of it. Just how can we help law enforcement and police? So उस time पे बहुत अलग-अलग type के, I can't even describe the amount of cases and stories I've heard. actually that made me so conscious that I'm not kidding, because we've done that. I've used hacking softwares to get into people's phones, computers, and it is so easy because hacking softwares are free. Investigation के लिए you have to pay, because investigation softwares, devices, everything is very expensive. Softwares तो free में मिल जाते हैं. And we could do it so easily, with just by people will get a message. Let's say you get a message, right? एक click है, link है, उस पे click करो, you will get a voucher. अब now you get very fascinated कि वो CCD का voucher मिल रहा है. But actually वो it's just a spam link जिस पे आपने click किया and I have access to your phone. So a lot of times I'm still so paranoid. I'm not kidding. The conversation I want nobody to hear, I actually keep my phone away, or I actually put my phone in off or airplane mode to have that conversation, because when I'm actually into your computer or phone ना, उसका कोई log नहीं रहता है. But I'm listening to your real time conversations. I'm recording you in real time, and ऐसे बहुत सारे cases हैं that we've worked on. So yeah, that made me paranoid, and I was like, blockchain is a safer industry because I, first of all, will not make me paranoid, and it's a technology which is completely new. And what happens is when you don't know much about it, you use it as a challenge because you don't know much about it. And that challenge was completely fascinating enough for me to keep working in blockchain. And then that's how from blockchain to went into, because we understand blockchain is also centralized and decentralized. So HiFi was born as it's a combination of centralized and decentralized financial system. That's why it's hybrid finance. So that's how the baby was born.
So in a way, can we say that HiFi lies on the blockchain beyond Bitcoin?
Absolutely. See, so Bitcoin, when we talk about it, blockchain is a technology, right? Crypto, NFTs, these are all use cases which are part of the technology. But problem is because for crypto ko itna negative publicity mila hai, because of which when everybody hears blockchain, it will be like, oh, Bitcoin, oh, crypto. That is because of the publicity, the usage that was happening of BTC initially. But now I think the mindset is changing. But I think for that, we need to put a lot of efforts in terms of educating the people. So when blockchain happens, for us, it was very important. We don't want people to relate HiFi with crypto. So we wanted to give a value to people. So the whole point was that I don't want money to come out of thin air and disappear in thin air, because that's what happens a lot in crypto markets. And apart from that, secondly, there's no regulator. So when people a lot of time compare, stock market with crypto market, but there's a difference. For stock market, there's SEBI, which is protecting customers' interest, and every company that has to go through stock market has to go through a rigorous test of documentation, testing, checking everything. Crypto mein, I just go online, create a white paper, build a project, and just go online. It's like few seconds I can do that. So that problem was there. We wanted people to disassociate us with crypto. So the reason was HiFi was born with the concept that we want to give a value. So how about we give a real world asset to people? So now they can see it in real. Okay, they have a physical asset. When they're investing on, they're buying something, it's a physical asset that they're investing in. So their money is safe. So that was the vision behind coming up with fractional ownership in HiFi.
So in a way, it's sort of like a marketplace.
It's a marketplace, yes. You do trading also. Initially, you invested, let's say, you start with $200. So for that also, it's not high on your pocket also. And trust factor comes in because you're making payments through regular modes. Everything is very transparent. So on platform also, we have the actual invoice. So what we do is when we take the cask from an agent or a distillery, we have a percentage because that's our business model. We have to have something. After that, we put it online for you to be able to invest in fractional ownership. We take payment through normal payment modes, which is every e-commerce company uses, through which you come on to us. Then you buy a fractional ownership. $200 is the minimum investment that you make. After that, that cask belongs to you. Net, for example, now you don't want to keep it for a longer time. You want to probably take an early exit. So maturation date would be 5 years, 10 years down the line. So you can trade in. You can trade in with anybody else who is interested in buying it. After a point, the value does get appreciated. And then again, the trading works like any other platform trading that works in. And you'll be able to sell. We will take again a small percentage in terms of a transaction fees, which is very nominal. But rest is up to you. So you can take an early exit. We're not holding on to it till the exit stage.
So you can only trade with other consumers on the platform and not sell it right back to the platform.
No, you can't sell it right back to the platform. But yes, to your friends and family also, you can do the transfer.
But all have to be a part of HiFi.
Yes, all have to be part of HiFi.
So talking about how HiFi has made it, what would you say are the biggest opportunities and threats for a new entrepreneur?
In terms of blockchain or?
In terms of blockchain.
See, in terms of blockchain, opportunities bahut sari hain because continuously this is a field which is growing. अभी शुरू हुई है. Like people are still exploring. बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो अभी तक explore भी नहीं है, बनी भी नहीं है. So in terms of technology, it has a vast growth and a lot of people are trying to get into it because companies अपने departments बना रही है dedicated to blockchains, dedicated to specifically for this industry. So in terms of career, बहुत growth है. Threats are I think mostly for consumers. Because consumers are falling prey to greed and because of which they don't understand enough. They don't spend enough time reading about it. क्या होता है कि जब initially when people hearing ना कि Bitcoin इतने से शुरू हुआ था और अभी इतने में पहुंच गया वाला thought process जो लोगों को है ना वो एक dream दिखाता है. Oh, if I invest today, maybe इतना रईस बन जाऊंगी kind of concept. But that doesn't really work. It has already reached the potential level. उसके बाद वो थोड़ा बहुत downfall and upfall चल रहा है, but you don't make enough margin on it. So लोगों का क्या हो रहा है इसलिए people want to invest in new projects. New projects रोज बहुत सारे आते हैं. People don't spend enough time reading about it and उनको ऐसा लगता है this can be the next PTC. And based on that, they started investing in it. People are putting their life savings into new projects. बहुत time तो projects में there is not even a face. You don't even know who's the person working on it. उसका use case क्या है? Websites इतनी fancy दिखती हैं. They have some enough following on Telegram, Twitter and Instagram, which a lot of people know can be bought also. But people get fascinated with that and without acquiring enough knowledge about the industry or the field or the project, they put in their money. So that is the biggest threat. Before putting in a project, any new project, first of all, greed has to be gone. And secondly, law enforcement कितना protect कर लेगा? Project is based in some other country. आपको किसी ने word of mouth से बोल दिया. आपने बिना सोचे उसमें invest कर दिया. तो गलती आपकी भी है. But the factor which was is greed. So I think before investing in tech or specifically in blockchain, I'm talking because scams are there. You need to read about it, understand it. The threat is the knowledge barrier. That उसकी वजह से I think it's a lot of negative publicity और वो सब हो रहा है.
Actually, 25 दिन में पैसा double तो हो नहीं सकता.
Lakshmi Chit Fund.
What was that one business lesson that helped you expand and take your mind off of the tech for a bit?
Business lesson. See, as an entrepreneur, if I talk about the most important lesson was not being rigid. Because initially problem क्या होता है when you get so attached to the idea. Because आपका idea आपको ऐसा लगता है this can change the world. Because when you start, this is how you feel. That is where you believe in it so much. उस time पे you're so rigid. If a feedback comes from industry or from anybody, you don't want to focus on it because you're like, nobody can understand right now. This is how I want to focus. That rigidness can actually make you make multiple mistakes before you actually reach your potential. So I think you should be open to adapt. So based on the market, based on the research and somebody, first of all, you need to have, I think mentor is a very important thing. I never had a mentor in my college in those days, which I still feel because, when they show you right path, they give you a proper feedback and, they're coming from a thought process which basically try to protect your interest. So that small things, if we learn at an early stage and those lessons, if we can incorporate in our initial business idea phase, that probably can give you more growth and less wastage of time because you learn from those mistakes and then you realize कि itna सारा time तो उसी में चला गया. So that kind of thought process.
And are you also growing your team?
Yes, we are growing our team. But we are trying to focus on the approach of outsourcing. So I believe that the amount of time I will spend right now, instead of focusing on business, I will start spending time on taking care of the team. Startup में we don't really have different departments के HR अच्छा ये सब देख लेंगे. खुद को ही देखना है. We have to do multitasking, right? So the amount of time I'll spend in managing कि अच्छा उन्होंने work report नहीं भेजी है, इससे अच्छा है that I do tech because that is what I am very good at. Finance, I have to do it because being an entrepreneur, I don't have an escape कि मुझे समझता नहीं है. This cannot be a reason. So marketing, I'm trying to outsource. So instead of hiring, we are following the concept of outsourcing. Yeah.
Now we know everything about your business. But I want to know more about what the rapid thinking can take out. Right?
Okay.
So we'll jump into a rapid fire round as quick as we can go.
Okay.
Recommend us a book that you like.
I like that Art of Thinking Clearly by Rolf Toberi. I've read that book multiple times because it's very short and crisp.
What is that one quality in a startup founder that you think is necessary?
Don't try to save up on money, which goes against what I've been doing all this time. But try to spend more on, you should be okay spending it for business, but try to use that much time to do your personal growth or for your company growth. Because what happens is a startup ना funds बहुत कम होते हैं and we always try to think कि funds में let's be conservative, पैसा कम करते सब हम खुद करेंगे. But we don't realize that money can be earned again. time, once it goes, it goes. Like kitna bhi paisa ho, time वापस नहीं आएगा. So I think that is a very important thing I want to focus more on. Like spend money, but try to get that time and grow your business.
And what is that one mistake that a founder should never make?
One mistake, like I said, it's, I think being rigid is that mistake. Everybody has made it at one point in time, because you get too attached to business, because everybody start treating their business as my baby and everything. But you should be open to criticism and changing your path.
What was your biggest eureka moment?
I was coming from college and working in cyber. First, when I was trying to teach law enforcement, like senior officers are like designations bhi yaad nahi hote the us time pe, and I'm teaching them.
Who is your role model in business?
Oh, Rohas.
One last thing, an idea that impacted you.
Idea that impacted me. I would say blockchain, because I want to promote like my own business. Although I have some things which I'll tell you off the camera, but blockchain is something I think is the idea which actually had given me the kick. Oh, something like that is happening. Because tech mein bahut sari technology ka combination hai, so that was the thing. Like,
what would you say are the major challenges for women in tech?
In terms of technology nahi hai, but in terms of people bahut zyada hai, because when you enter a room, you enter in a niche field surrounded by majority of a different gender. It's very difficult because to people to understand that you can have a brain also along with the looks. It's very different. And for women, because everybody thinks women have different priorities in life and they will not probably focus on work. वो हर बार ना उनको prove करना कि no, I can do this was a thing that I used to do it initially. Because उस time पे you also want to have that factor ना कि मुझे prove करना है, मुझे दुनिया को prove करना है, इनको prove. Abhi, I don't care. You want to believe in me, don't want to believe in me, walk out of the door. Like, that's how I work on the philosophy now, and it is actually working in my favor. Now, I've worked so much, like, time of my life I've dedicated in tech. I hope that next time when more and more women are coming in the tech, will probably give you a better path. Secondly, I think we are also responsible for it somehow. We always keep asking for equal opportunities. We ask for it, we don't demand it. Or just being a woman doesn't mean कि मुझे same chahiye. We also have to have equal amount of work also needs to be given. The equal amount of dedication also needs to be given. So as and when this kind of stuff happens and more women are in the room, na, wo thought process shift hoga. As of right now, wo shift isliye nahi raha because you are very, very one or two women you will see in the women, and that too also they're probably there for the heck of it. So that is what it is.
A challenge everyone is trying to tackle.
Yes. Everyone is trying.
So thank you, Sheenam, for coming around here.
Absolutely.
It was lovely
pleasure.
talking to you. We need to catch up beyond cameras as well. So
Absolutely.
we'll do that.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yep.